Hi, my name's Maddie, and thank you for taking this time to listen to my story. Oddly enough, my first experiences with ultrasound happened before I was even born, and is the reason I have an interest in the profession today. My mother was going in for her OB ultrasound when it was discovered that I had choroid plexus cysts on my brain, which is an indicator for the genetic disorder trisomy 18. Because of this, my parents had to schedule a 4D ultrasound and undergo genetic counseling and consider fetal termination. During this terrifying moment, the individual that had the longest lasting effect on my mother was the sonographer that took that 4D ultrasound. She was kind, compassionate, and extremely professional. She made an unbearable situation seem like it was going to be okay. Shortly after the procedure began, the on-site radiologist signaled to the sonographer that my cyst would resolve and I was going to be completely healthy. It's now 2025, and I'm applying for the Bellevue College Diagnostic Sonography program. This is a huge full circle moment for me, and sonography has been a huge part of my past, it's a big part of my present, and I really want it to be my future. The profession interests me so much because it will continue to allow me to learn and grow, work in close proximity with patients, and honor the individuals that taught me all I know about healthcare. It will also allow me to work in a team setting through hospitals and clinics, and allow me to be a small part of something bigger. I've been a part of the competitive team sport since I was 7 years old, indicating that I really do work the best in a team. Sonography obviously has high compensation and great satisfaction, but what interests me the most is how vast the profession is, and it's continually growing and offering new opportunities. The human body has always interested me, especially the heart, and sonography is my window into this and my way to impact people's health. I've been immersed into healthcare my entire life because my grandfather owned his own chiropractic clinic for 30 years before he passed away, and my father has owned his own physical therapy clinic for the past 15 years. This has allowed me from a very young age to communicate with patients and understand the importance of HIPAA. I've always known I wanted a profession in healthcare, so for the past 3 years, I've worked in a physical therapy clinic. My first year, I was a back office assistant, which allowed me to understand the flow of a healthcare setting and also let me know how to handle the intake process and how to handle records. I also was able to work closely with a physical therapist. My next year, I was a personal trainer assistant, which helped me understand anatomy and help patients with their exercises and make sure they maintained motivated. My last year, I was a client fitness program coordinator, which really gave me hands-on experience with patients. I was able to make personalized fitness programs to make sure I was meeting their needs and their health conditions. It also helped me understand that everyone is different, which is an important part of sonography, because everyone's anatomy will be different and their perspectives will be different, making it important I can handle changing environments effectively. After these experiences, I decided to shadow my local sonography unit, and I spent most of my time in the cardiac unit. My sonographer explained each scan to me, what he was doing and why he was doing it, and after the patient left, he would explain to me any abnormalities he saw. I was also able to view bubble tests, and something really special is I was able to scan the vascular tech to give me that hands-on experience. Most importantly, shadowing those sonographers dedicated me to becoming an echocardiographer. I've had an abundance of experience with sicker patients because of my great-grandmother. For the last 7 years of her life, my mother and I took over her primary care and managed things including her medications, appointments, house cleaning, and her hospice. It helped me understand the importance of maintaining dignity of the individual and the family that's aiding in their end-of-life transition. Because I now understood the isolation and loneliness that comes with aging, I decided to volunteer at my local nursing home called Buena Vista. Here, I communicated with residents and aided in games and also brought them back to their rooms and made sure they were comfortable. I got to communicate with them and hear so many stories, and I truly do feel I made a difference in their lives. I also got to understand the roles of a CNA and how important they are, which inspired me to apply to my CNA program starting in June. I know a lot of people say they want to work with sick or dying patients because they want to help people, which is a great reason, but I want to take my philosophy a step further by wanting to protect the dignity of the individual and maintain and create a calming environment under a state of distress. People nearing their ending chapter deserve dignity, and my role is to deflect worry and anxiety by being trustworthy, calm, and collected. I know that working with sick or dying patients could be viewed as a burden, but I truly view it as a gift. It is a complete honor to be a part of an ending chapter and one of the highest callings to help others when they're going through their last breaths. Through all my research and shadowing, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of each specialty. To start off, cardiac sonography, or echocardiography, can assess things like blood flow, heart valves, and heart chambers, and commonly work with a cardiologist. They have two different views, including 2D and 3D, and they also have different procedures like transesophageal and transthoracic. A vascular sonographer can assess things like arteries and veins, such as the aorta, and can diagnose things like blockages or aneurysms. They normally also work with a vascular surgeon or technologist. Lastly, general ultrasound, which is definitely the most broad, includes things like obstetric, abdominal, and musculoskeletal. They can diagnose things like kidney issues or fetal health issues, and also might need to prepare their patient for the different type of procedure they're having. During an obstetric procedure, you might need to maintain a full bladder, and for an abdominal, you might need to fast. Out of all these specialties, they report to a radiologist, and they also must make sure the diagnosis is confidential. They can't tell the patient what's happening, but must ease their nerves while doing so, making sure they are calm and compassionate. Out of all these specialties, I stand strong on the cardiac specialty. I think this started when I was going through my anatomy and physiology classes, and I started learning about the cardiovascular system. I love learning about all the different anatomy and how ejection fracture works, and especially reading an ECG. I also was able to participate in a mock clinic and be a patient of an echocardiogram, which is extremely special because it gave me that experience hands-on in being a patient in the profession I want. To close, I feel the greatest challenge I'll face when becoming a sonographer is the fact that I cannot tell my patient their diagnosis. I could potentially know life-threatening news and have to maintain calm and confident and act like things are okay when really they probably aren't. I'll see my patient's highest highs and their lowest lows, and I have to remain confidential, and I know that, but it might be hard because I am an empathetic person. I do feel my personality will combat this well though, because I maintain poise, positivity, and stay upbeat in impossible situations, which I can thank my healthcare experience, my volunteer experience, and my athletic career for. I know my philosophy is maintaining patient dignity and being a positive impact on people's lives, and I'm ready to dedicate my professional life in making sure I become the best echocardiographer I can be.